ready? Okay, go.
Many immigrants living in the United States of America are illegal immigrants. When discovered, they are cruelly sent back to where they came from, or separated from their children without even being asked why they came without papers or what they would be doing in America. Every year, this is becoming a bigger issue and not many people know about it. Hi, my name is Anushka Swaminathan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about rethinking America's immigration system for those without visas. My first point about illegal immigration is that usually the people who come to the U.S. without visas are impoverished people who are trying to avoid something where they come from or find a better life. Or maybe they don't have money to get a visa or a specific purpose in America. For example, a friend of mine is half Mexican. Her father is from Mexico, and he came here illegally because he was a poor farm boy in Mexico, and he was a victim of a lot of soldiers not really caring about the farm people and sometimes even trying to shoot them. Eventually, he ran away when he was 20 because he had had enough. He may have done a wrong by coming without a visa, but it was with a good reason. It wasn't his fault that the situation in Mexico was like that. My second point about illegal immigration is once they get here, many people realize that the American dream is more like an American curse because recently, E.A.S.E, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, was reported cracking down during the past few years much more than before. Bloomberg.com says the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency increased its annual deportations 150% to 2,593, said Sam Stringer. The largest jump among people with no criminal convictions went to 1,114 from 313. Many undocumented immigrants realize that America is not as perfect as it had seemed before because we also have job shortages sometimes, and we have homeless people and some unjust laws. However, what really is the turning point for some people is when they realize that in America, they are not welcome. My third point about illegal immigration is that it's really hard to live in constant fear of deportation. As I mentioned earlier, most illegal immigrants don't have money or a stable lifestyle in their home country, and having to be sent back would be devastating for them. Also, some illegal immigrants have kids, spouses, a good job in America, and to be deported would destroy their whole lifestyle. Now in America, my friend's father has 3 daughters. If he is deported, it would make the lives of my friend and her sisters, as well as their mom, really hard. They would really miss him, and he would miss them, but they would never ever be able to see each other again. They haven't done anything wrong, but they would have to suffer. And the worst part of this is that it's happening to almost all the immigrants living here with family and no papers. Recently, a change was brought about in the system, for the worse. Now, instead of being deported, many undocumented people with families are separated from their children in detention centers in the hopes that they will give up and go back to where they originally were. This experience can be very traumatizing for very young children and even teenagers. They're not even allowed any contact with each other. My final point about illegal immigration is that many immigrants help our economy by taking on jobs that no one else will, and that are very important for our society. Things like cleaning, houses, and farming. These are very high labor and low income jobs. And our society wouldn't be able to survive very well without these. If they help us so much, why do we treat them so badly? My idea for a solution is, for the existing illegal immigrants, those who have gotten through, instead of immediate deportation, and instead of having to ask for amnesty or to retake the test they would have otherwise taken. It should just be a given that they fill in these forms about what they're doing in America, why they're leaving where they come from. Based on the results, they would be allowed to stay or not. If they're with a family or a good stable job, then they could be allowed to stay as long as they're not doing criminal things. For the future illegal immigrants, people who might come without visas in the future, we could test them about their purpose in America and history where they're from. And for everybody, we should always attempt to be more open to understanding what's going on for some immigrants where they come from. Everybody should try to contact their congresspeople and senators and work with them about changing these unfair laws. And instead of only punishing the immigrants with deportation and separation, also punishing the ICE officers who take the law too far. In conclusion, I think America should rethink its immigration system for those without papers because first, most illegal immigrants are just impoverished people trying to find a better life. Second, for most illegal immigrants, what they heard of as the American dream becomes more like an American curse because they're not accepted for being from somewhere else, and it can also be very hard to find a job. And my last reason we need to rethink our immigration system is it's hard to live in constant fear of deportation because many illegal immigrants know that it's a much worse situation where they come from than in America, and they can't bear to go back. In the future, even ordinary citizens can try to be more aware of this issue and tell other people we know. I hope that someday, if we speak up about this issue together, we can change our immigration system for the better. Thank you.
So our next speaker will be Tristan Lim from 6th grade.
Has anyone played with Rubik's Cubes before? Please raise your hands if you have done that. Thank you. It's great that many of you have. It all started in 1974 when a man named Erno Rubik started tying some toy blocks together and started twisting them. After a few twists, the cube broke. Many years later, he created a steadier and less fragile version of it. He called it a Rubik's Cube. Hi, I'm Tristan, and today I would like to share with you about the benefits of Rubik's Cubes and why they can benefit everyone in the world. A boy named Max Park was diagnosed with autism at age 2. Autism is a social disability that makes people have a hard time communicating and making friends. He couldn't open a soda bottle or even use a paperclip correctly. A doctor advised Max Park's parents that playing with Rubik's Cubes could help him with his disability. Max fell in love with solving Rubik's Cubes instantly. Deep focus and practice helped him become one of the world's best cubers and even set a world record of 6 seconds in 2017. A few weeks ago, I met him in a cubing competition at Sunnyvale and took a picture of him. In an article, it was reported that Max's parents were overjoyed when he learned how to wait in line and even say hi to people. Cubing also helped Max look people in the eye and communicate too. He has inspired many cubers around the world that if you work hard enough, you can achieve your goals. How did it begin for me? When I was in 5th grade, almost everyone in my class was playing with them. One of the kids in my class even solved one. That inspired me to practice with cubes when I got back home. I tried solving 2 sides because I did that well in 3rd grade. After a few days, I mastered solving 2 sides by myself. Then, I started learning new algorithms, notations, and even solved the whole thing several times. When I solved the Rubik's Cube, I noticed how memorizing algorithms helped improve my memory. Solving a Rubik's Cube takes lots of patience and time. It can also help you look at a problem in a different way than other people. This coming July, I will participate in a world cubing competition held in San Francisco. Solving Rubik's Cubes is really fun and makes me feel like I achieved something many people find impossible. As you now know, Rubik's Cubes are more than just a toy, because cubing can help people like Max Park and their disability. Second, mental ability can be enhanced. And third, cubing can teach you how to look at problems in a different way. Now, stop playing with devices, get yourself a Rubik's Cube, and enjoy the cubing challenge. Thank you.
So our next speaker will be Angelina Lau from 4th grade.
Do you know what harms the planet? Well, I believe that plastic is extremely harmful for the planet. Hi, my name is Angelina, and let's not use plastic items anymore and make the world a better place. Plastic takes a long time to decompose. You might think after a long time, plastic decomposes away completely, but the plastic doesn't. Plastic takes 1,000 or more years to decompose. Surprisingly, plastic never decomposes. The plastic just creates tiny pieces that humans can't see, and they think that it's gone forever. Animals can still accidentally eat the plastic, and they could get tangled in it, injured, or killed by plastic still. Plastic is a threat to all creatures. The animal food chain gets harmed, and the plastic is the reason it's getting harmed, especially the ocean creature food chain. Once we kill the animal with the plastic is still inside the animal. And then the person who eats the animal will get the plastic inside their body this time. People will need surgery or they will die because of plastic. An effort around the world is to continue reusing and recycling plastic items like plastic bags, cups, and straws. Hard plastic is reusable, but not flimsy plastic, except plastic bags. After thoroughly washing hard plastic, it's ready to be reused. One simple way to reuse plastic is to build things in your house out of plastic. In conclusion, although plastics are harmful for our environment, we can be more creative and make the world a better place by inventing new materials that we all live in. Thank you.
So our next speaker will be Vincent Yip from 6th grade.
Have you ever wondered why video games are so addictive? Well, hello everyone. My name is Vincent, and it is a pleasure to be here with you all. And I will be talking about why are video games so addicting. Well, imagine 100-player battle royale in the midst of battle with a victory on the line. To earn precious items that can help you boost your avatar. Players look to customize their avatar and become stronger in virtual competitions, so they can keep
playing to find rare items. Kids especially find gaming satisfying because it's fun and exciting to make friends online. The downside, however, is kids can get emotionally attached to the game, and if someone gets in their way, they could become violent or angry. But are game addiction always bad? Well, it's controversial. Yet games need to work together and communicate clearly to win the game. This helps them develop speech fluency and clarity of ideas. Overwatch, for example, requires teamwork to successfully overcome obstacles. I know what most of you might be thinking. Gaming poisons young minds or makes people more aggressive. The truth is, gaming can actually help with many brain functions such as decision making. In Fortnite, for example, players must quickly assess situations, come up with solutions to avoid failing their missions or letting teammates down. At the same time, players have to strategize and find quick methods of communication. According to British Council, the evidence that gaming can help with psychological problems at the University of Auckland in New Zealand, researchers asked 94 people diagnosed with depression to play a 3D fantasy game called Sparks. And in many cases, the game reduced symptoms of depression more than controversial treatment. As an experienced gamer myself, I always wondered why people view games as a negative habit. When players responsibly can help user develop their skills without overdoing it, knowing when to stop and when to continue playing can be hard, but having someone stop us while playing can help us build a healthy habit. I know this because my mom stops me when I get carried away playing with my friends. Now, as you can see, with moderation, video games can actually be more helpful than harmful. Ultimately, it's up to the gamer to draw the line between reality and virtual reality. Thank you.
So our next speaker will be Shreya Parmar from 5th grade.
Are you wondering how transportation will be like in the future? Hi, my name is Shreya, and today I'm going to talk about future transportation. I think we need a change because first, climate change. Second, we are using lots of Earth's materials for energy. But how should we change? Transportation is in our everyday life. We kids and adults use transportation almost every day. For example, going to school to home or office to home. And now we are able to buy things off the internet, such as something from Amazon. It comes from your house by transportation. So transportation is really important. The way transportation should be fixed is as follows: flying cars / taxis in small distances, self-driving cars / electric cars, and Hyperloop. Well, do you know what Hyperloop is? Let me show you a picture of it. The Hyperloop can go from San Francisco to Los Angeles, a bus ride 8 hours, train ride 4 hours, and a 3-hour air travel experience between the two cities in just 30 minutes. It also uses very little energy, which is good. The network that would drastically slash the car time between the two cities from 2 hours to just 12 minutes. And Hyperloop needs tubes to go through. Let me show you a picture of it. The person who created a Hyperloop was the person who created the Teslas. Hyperloop requires many, many tubes, which requires lots of money. Also, safety has to be solved. So to save Earth's energy and to prevent climate change, we need to fix transportation by flying cars / taxis, self-driving cars / electric cars, and Hyperloop. Hyperloop is in the making, and I believe every city should adopt Hyperloop. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
So our final speaker will be Tyler Liu from 7th grade.
As many of you know, speech is a vital skill for today's society, which is why you send your children to speech class. But how does practicing speech benefit us? My name is Tyler, and I would like to talk to you about the benefits of public speaking. I would like to approach this topic in 3 parts. First, the skills we develop in speech class. Second, the skills we learn in speech class. And third, the applicability of these skills in real life. The skills we develop in class are very useful in speech, and most can apply to real life. In speech classes, we develop listening, reading, and writing skills. Speech classes help us practice these skills by letting us listen to other people read speeches, letting us read speeches, and writing our own speeches. In writing a speech, you want to make your speech sound reputable. One way you can do this is to add research to your speech, proving your points. You also gain in-depth knowledge researching your subject. Speech classes also exercise your brain and help you think critically. When you write a speech, you want to write it in a way that meshes together facts so that people can understand and believe what you're saying, and write it so that the facts transition nicely from one to the other. Speech classes also help us develop our vocabulary by giving us a clear reason to know and use new words. When writing speeches, you want them to be descriptive while using the least amount of words possible. This is where having an advanced vocabulary is useful, as there are words in the English language that describe the same concepts as 2 words, or even entire sentences. For example, instead of the phrase, "John has a good outlook on life," you could use the phrase, "John is optimistic," or even "John is sanguine." The skills that are taught in class are among the most useful of them, and jobs and tasks requiring these are not uncommon. Speech classes teach us presentation skills, like how to keep the audience's attention, how to stress important points of the speech, and how to use these skills to persuade people. Speech classes also teach debate skills and etiquette by having students debate against each other and trying to disprove each other's points. Speech classes require you to stand in front of multiple people, which you may not know, and recite a script clearly. Many people cannot do this whatsoever, as they lack the confidence to stand up and talk. In fact, according to creditdonkey.com, some 238 million people feel nervous about talking to others. This large number of people who fear public speaking is why the fear of public speaking has its own term, glossophobia. Speech classes help us to quell that fear by letting us get used to speaking in a controlled environment. The skills gained in speech class can be very useful in places like work, school, or anywhere in general. In school, you have to present in front of the class sometimes. In my 6th grade semester, I had to present in front of the class at least 4 times. In each of those times, my speech practice helped in many ways. I was able to focus my research, prepare my presentation logically, and speak confidently in front of class. In addition to speaking, writing is a large part of schoolwork, and the better writer you are, the more likely you are to get a higher grade. Effective public speakers can persuade, motivate, and inform people. Teachers who can talk concisely can explain even the hardest concepts to their students. Corporate leaders can motivate their employees and sell new ideas effectively. Political leaders with effective oration can sway public opinion. It is extremely likely that you will get a job which incorporates public speaking or elements of public speaking in some way. In conclusion, communication is essential, especially if you hold a higher position where you manage more people. Public speaking is a necessary skill to learn if you want to get ahead in your career or do well in school. Thank you.
So that is the end of all the speeches. I would appreciate if you guys gave them another round of applause. They worked really hard to put it on. So I'll invite up Christopher Lim to present the awards. So I'll be announcing the speakers to come up and receive their awards now. So our first speaker, Mo Huang, if she could come up and receive her award. I'll then invite our next speaker, Rohit Kumar, to receive his award. Our next speaker to receive her award will be Adeline Lau. Our next speaker to receive their award will be Ethan Sung. Our next speaker to receive her award will be Angelina. Angela, sorry. Our next speaker to receive her award will be Maria. Our final speaker to receive their award from the first session will be Caleb Richmond. I will now be announcing the winners from the second session. So our first person to receive their award will be Anushka Swaminathan. Our next person to receive an award will be Tristan Lim.
Here.
Our next speaker to receive their award will be Angelina. So Angela will be the next person to receive their award. Our next speaker to receive their award will be Vincent. You. Our next person to receive their award will be Shreya Parmar. person to receive their award will be Tyler Liu.